I see there are a lot of concept bands or groups like Meredith Brooks going on. That's what do you think of that?
Who is Meredith?
Meredith Brooks, I'm a bitch. That's one more song, like one hit.
Yeah.
Like, let's jump on the Alanis Morissette bandwagon.
Oh, yeah, that's a trend I don't like now. This like wimpy girly singer thing, and it's like it's this progress for women. It's just showing them in their little girly wimps, just almost like where people want to see them or something, like a big folk revival.
It's too bad because some of those, you look at them, I see them on television and stuff, and they hold the pick like this and go like this, and they don't know, and it just seems like, it's some guy has got these people and made this thing happen and everything, and it's something easily controllable and everything. Meanwhile, there are a lot of women out there that are doing what she does and really great and stuff, and you won't see them either. You'll see this product. It's mind blowing. But all these singer songwriter types, this is. I hate that stuff. This folk rock,
and it's conservative. It's very easy to take, so it's just.
Yeah, no one will be upset. Yeah. No one will be offended.
So until now, it's just like those concept bands were mainly mainstream things. But now I notice like there are bands like Sugar Ray. You know Sugar Ray? They sound like they're put together by some weird marketing guy. Things like, hey, let's mingle Rage Against the Machine with the Chili Peppers. Now that will be a hit.
Yeah. Well, that happens. Yeah, I haven't heard that one, but I'm sure there are manufacturers.
That's just the way that the record companies think. They want to invent something. It's always been that way, and they usually invent something that's predictable, and then it's a hit because it's this big industry, and people, the sheep, run and listen to it and everything.
Whatever happened to slagging off other bands? I mean, you guys are actually the first one who say like, we hate that gory stuff or we hate that commercial shit, but most bands don't slag off any other bands anymore.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if we slag we slag, what do you call it? Styles of things mostly. Yeah, we take the whole thing. Yeah. But I thought other bands did. So I don't read the music press. I thought bands, because aren't there famous like feuds, like the bands in England have feud with other band or something.
Yeah, but that's a media thing as well, because they have like so many music magazines they have to fill every week with lots of crap. Yeah.
It's like the enemy loves the Cramps, so
the
Melody Maker has to hate the Cramps.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's really stupid.
You guys ever had troubles with audiences or with the cops playing? I mean, because your shows are pretty, they could be offensive for people.
No, we've been pretty lucky that way as far as, Lux hasn't gone to jail for getting naked or anything, but there's been some trouble with cops, unfortunately, with our fans, and mainly like outside shows, some kind of riot situations where a few times there would have been no riot if the cops hadn't started the riot, especially like Los Angeles. The cops are kind of famous for not just our shows, but a few. I think there was even a Bad Religion show in the early 80s or something where they just beat up everybody, where the concert's going fine, but they're just waiting to start. They just want to kick some punk's ass, and they do, and they'll have the helicopters and everything, and then it'll be on the news. Because we were on the news once. We did a show at the Palladium in Hollywood, and what they call it, the Crabs, or the Craps or something. They said, and they showed all this like cops and punks running around and throwing rocks at cops, and they said at a Crabs concert.
Dangerous punks were attacking the police last night.
But it was the other way around. Dangerous police were attacking the punks, but.
Because I could see you guys being followed by a mob of hillbillies with pitchforks and trucks and guns, etc.
Oh, no. That's just in the movies. No. Although Florida's pretty famous for hassling people, so I think we probably are more. Because I'm thinking we should be careful here. And we've been in places where we're just traveling, like through a truck stop in Texas or something, where we get some really mean looks, and we just keep moving. They make it clear that we're not wanted there.
But that's one thing with the Cramps, like you've always been very sexual in your lyrics as well. Has that been one reason why you never got huge, because Americans can't really deal with that?
Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's too much substance. When we first started out, Arturo, the Ramones, they're kind of like a production guy, their best friend and stuff. He said, "You guys are never going to make it because you're too good." you have to be lousy to make it, and I think that's just about it. There's too much substance to the Cramps. There's too much to be frightened of.
Yeah, he said there were too many facets, and that would just confuse people. If it was just one simple thing, and they go, okay, I know what this is, and you can name it, categorize it, and put a package around it, then but that you couldn't do that with us.
I always saw a lot of bands coming up after the Cramps got big, who like took part of the Cramps and developed that, like what's it called? I hate it. Weet je nou weer? Die gek. G.G. Allen. I think he took part of your show. What do you think?
Well, probably so. I haven't seen him, but I mean, it seemed that way.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
But we never saw it or heard it.
So it makes me wonder, how did you survive?
Well, I think we're smarter than some people. That's all I could say. I mean, we have a respect for. We love our band more than anything. A lot of people, they get in bands and they think they're rock stars, and we've seen it even within our band with some members and everything. And all of a sudden they think they're better than they're the chosen ones, and they're better than everyone else. And there's a reason why they should be here and everything, because they're such great, wonderful thing. And you can really get build that out of proportion where you think you deserve all this great stuff and everything. With us, it was always a respect for the band, like the Cramps is us and it's our fans. It's one big thing, and we're part of it, and it's a respect for the music and stuff like that. So we take care of ourselves and we think ahead and we look down the road for danger, and
yeah, I mean, wasn't G.G. Allen more of a performance artist, right, than music, and a lot of self-hatred from what I understand, which I don't think. I mean, Lux gets way out there and does strange things. I've never thought of Lux having self-hatred, that's what's being expressed. And unless I'm wrong, I thought that's what G.G. Allen was, a lot of his performance art was about.
I think sometimes these artist types like that, they kind of don't have talent, so they think of some other way to make a big noise, and they go out and shit on the stage or something. And this is wild to me. That's so boring. I can't imagine. It's just. Unbelievable what some people think is wild. I don't know. I always thought being wild had something to do with glamour and being original.
Could you people relate to the hardcore scene when it grew, like with Agnostic Front in New York or with Germs in L.A. or?
Well, we're different from that a lot as far as our music isn't political, our lyrics aren't political, and that's just not what we want to do. And I think the bands that you're mentioning are, it's a platform for political ideas, in their lyrics, and also musically, like Lux was saying, there's certain kinds of music that we like a lot that is groovy to us, and a certain kind of groove, and a lot of those bands, it's just, it's a different wavelength. I don't feel the groove in a lot of it. That's just really fast pummeling thing. It's not as like a sexy groove to me, or I'm not tuned into it if it is. So no, I think we're different both musically and just lyrically too. That we very deliberately avoid politics in our lyrics. We figure our lifestyle is enough of a statement, and a comment on politics or anything else. I mean, that's one way to vote. We don't vote, for instance, but we feel like we vote with our behavior. We vote with how we spend our money. You don't spend your money on something that will, because money is the main thing that gives power to something. If you don't want something to exist, then don't back it up by buying certain things. So no, I don't identify with that.
Bands that are very political, it always seemed really insincere to me. Like it's just just an act. It's a way of getting some say. You got to stop this, and the government and all this kind of stuff. It seems like so insincere. It just seems like glaringly insincere to me most of the time. But hardcore, I like the undergroundness of that. I respect that and everything. It's just there's no groove to it usually.
When will you guys play Amsterdam again?
Maybe in spring next year. We haven't booked it. We're playing in America till the end of this year. I don't know yet if we'll play America again early next year. If we'll come to Europe. If we come to Europe, we'll play Amsterdam.
You always have a filled Paradiso because you have a big fan base here, no matter if you have a record out or not.
Yeah, we love playing the Paradiso. It's great.